Hey folks, today we're going to talk about how to play Shobu online. The game board here looks a little bit different from regular Shobu because we're not in person, we don't have that kind of game board. Instead we're going to do things a little bit differently with an equivalent set of rules using, once again, playingcards.io. Now to start out, make sure that your pieces are assembled on your board in this way. So the pink and the green pieces are all at the top rows, and the teal and the green pieces are all at the bottom rows, and the teal are across from the pink, and the green are across from the red. Next, decide which player is going to be player 1 and which player is going to be player 2. For player 1, the top two boards, here and here, are going to be their home boards. For player 2, the bottom two boards are their home boards. Moreover, player 1 is going to be able to control the pink and the red pieces. Player 2 is going to control the teal and the green pieces. Now starting with player 1, the players are going to alternate taking turns. A turn consists of two moves, a passive move and an active move, and both moves have to happen during each turn. The passive move has to happen on the player that's moving's home boards, one of their home boards. And any sort of movement involves moving in a straight line, either vertically or horizontally or diagonally, up to two spaces. So as an example, starting passive move for player 1 is going to move one of their pieces, and they can choose to move either pink or red, and it needs to be on their home boards. So it needs to be on one of these upper two boards. And they can move that piece up to two spaces in any straight direction, diagonally or horizontally, but you can't move it so as to collide with any other pieces or so that it goes off the board. So for example, as my first move, I could do something like this. I could move this piece two spaces diagonally this way. So that's the passive move. As my active move now, I must move a piece which I control of the color that I haven't moved yet, and I need to move it in the same exact way that I moved the previous piece. So I have to move, in this case, a red piece, and because I have to move a red piece, it has to be on one of these two right boards, and I need to move it exactly the same way I moved that piece. Notice it doesn't have to be the same piece, but I need to move it the same way. So I can move, for example, this one, 2 spaces. Now it's player 2's turn, and they, during their turn, have to make two moves as well. A passive move and an active move, or what's, I think in the rules I was referring to as an aggressive move. Now the passive move, again, has to happen on player 2's home boards, so that has to be somewhere on the bottom two boards, and they can move any one of their colors up to two spaces in any direction. So for example, I could move this color here one space diagonally like that. And then for my active move or aggressive move, I have to move a piece of the opposite color. So I could move a piece down here or a piece over here, and I have to move exactly the same direction. So for example, I could move from here to here, or I could have moved from here to here. Now one of the things that's interesting during the active move is that I am able to run into pieces. I can push a piece. So if I were to move this piece here, I can push this pink piece. So the pink piece gets pushed off of the board, and the teal piece takes up its spot. Now, pieces which are pushed off of the board in this way are removed from the game. Back to player 1's turn. They have to first move one of their pieces as a passive move on one of their two home boards. Now they cannot, for example, move this piece here to here, pushing out this piece, because for the passive move, we're not allowed to push at all. You can only push during the active or aggressive move. So, for example, I could move this pink piece two spaces diagonally this way. Or I could, for example, instead have moved this pink piece one or two pieces straight down. That works too, certainly. And then as my second part, my active move phase, I need to move one of these red pieces. Now, I am not able to move this red piece up 2 because that would put my red piece off of the board, and that's not allowed. Nor can I move this red piece 2 because unfortunately that would involve pushing more than one piece at a time, and I'm only allowed to push up to one piece. So maybe a better move for me would be, instead of moving this pink piece in my passive move 2 down, why don't I move it just 1 down? And now I can use this red piece, moving it just 1, to push that green piece off of the board. Play continues in this fashion until on one of the 4 boards, a player has been managed to knock all of their opponent's pieces, push all of their opponent's pieces off of the board. And the player that pushes all of their opponent's pieces off of just one of the boards first wins. So you might have to defend a lot of territory, or alternatively be aggressive on a lot of territory. So that's how we're going to play Shobu Online. I hope you have fun.